what do you do now as an adult who didn't internalize healthy boundaries, unclear where to set them? How do you fix this? Well, there's a lot of advice out there about how to set boundaries and learn it to do as a skill. So the first steps would be becoming aware that there are things that make me uncomfortable. Also kind of becoming curious about, okay, what's happening in this situation? How does this situation make me uncomfortable? What's coming up for me here? So this way you become aware, okay, maybe, I overstayed, or I overshared, or I didn't say no when I should have, or I've been too guarded and I should have been a bit more open. So the second step would be to learn about what healthy boundaries are actually. I mentioned that in a previous video, how they present in our lives. The most important thing is to realize that your needs matter. Just as the needs of others matter, so you matter as well and your needs matter. Because sometimes to counterbalance the sense of worthlessness that emerges when our needs are neglected as kids, people will come up with a position on the more extreme side, such as you deserve for your needs to be considered. So a little bit like those shame-based and pride-based identifications that I covered in a previous video on the 5 survival styles. Check the link up here. I'm gonna add it in the description as well. So now, as if it doesn't matter, my needs don't matter, I can't say no, to the point I deserve this. And often this deserve can come with a sense of I demand that. So you might hear people say, you deserve to be responded to, and you deserve to be understood, and you deserve to be heard, and you deserve to be given credit, and you deserve to have a friend or family on your side. You deserve to have people that are there for you. You deserve to have people who go out of their way for you, and you deserve to have your needs met by the people in your life with whom you are in a relationship. Well, this makes sense, and it is true essentially, and it can be very uplifting, especially for someone who's feeling down and always putting others first and them neglecting their own needs. It betrays a sense of entitlement, which is also an indicator of a compromised and poorly formed boundary. So a pendulum swing from one end to the other. A better way to look at healthy boundaries is to say it is a normal thing to be responded to. It is a normal thing to be understood, and it is a normal thing to be heard. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling hurt when a friend is not there for you when you needed him or her. It is a normal thing to have your needs met by people in your life with whom you have a relationship. And at the same time, you're still okay if these needs are not met from the outside. This is not to say that it's okay that you are ignored and your needs are ignored, but that you are still okay even if others from the outside don't meet it, that you'll be okay. So there is a level of tolerance, and understanding. Maybe people couldn't for whatever reasons. However, it's definitely not okay when someone ignores your needs consistently. And here you can set a limit or a boundary to this relationship and say, this is not working for me. For this relationship to work, there's got to be this reciprocal give and take. So clearly setting a different boundary. And here you have a choice. You can choose to let in your life the people who love and care for you and respond to your needs. However, for someone whose boundaries have not adequately formed, this will feel very strange. Setting boundaries, saying no, limiting relationships, it will feel very unnatural. That might bring up fear, guilt, a sense of shame and discomfort, because it won't feel okay at first. But give yourself time. At a deeper level, the best course would be, of course, to heal the trauma around boundaries, so that you can reconnect with that sense of inner calm and confidence and connectedness that in itself is an intrinsic healthy boundary. And therapy, especially IFS or internal family systems therapy, building these attachment bonds internally with your core self, can feel like a miracle happening. Meanwhile, how do you set appropriate boundaries? Here is a quick guide. If there are people in your life who constantly violate your boundaries, and let's say your parents, because close people in our lives tend to cross our boundaries the most. So let's say they either don't reciprocate the same love and respect, or they disconsider your needs and your requests constantly. Here are some things that you can do. First of all, accept that your needs matter, are legitimate, and are not a sign of weakness, that you actually needed them to be there for you in life, their support and connection, because that is your blueprint for your self-perception and self-image in life now. The second is accept your feelings towards them. Don't try to run away. Sometimes you have conflicted feelings. You might hate them, but then feel guilty and say, no, I can't talk bad about my parents, or I can't complain because it will be disrespectful or disloyal. It doesn't help at all to deny. The first step in managing emotions is to accept them and acknowledge them. This is how I feel. Second, set some boundaries by shifting into this self-protection mode, depending on what type of people you're dealing with. So, do they seem to hurt you on purpose? Or are they just too absorbed in their own needs to have time to notice or care for yours? Or are they simply unaware of feelings in general and thus incapable of accepting or acknowledging your feelings and responding to them appropriately? Based on that, you might choose one of the following strategies. 1, take control of the time you spend with them. Have a say in the places where you want to meet. Maybe you might decide to meet on a neutral territory. You may need to say no to some things or keep the calls or visits short. Start taking charge of the plans and do so without feeling guilty. Another strategy is to create an internal boundary about what you expect for them. Often great disappointment comes when our expectations are not met. So be mindful to share less information in order not to make yourself too vulnerable, or lower your expectations if they are not able to offer that. And the third strategy is consider talking to them about emotional neglect. Some parents, especially those that are less in touch with their feelings and aware of what's happening, might at least try to understand. So these would be some strategies you can apply while doing your own inner work and repair, and being there for the parts of you that are still carrying that trauma and the pain of neglect. So I will conclude here. Please share and subscribe. It's been very useful to dig into this so deep, and the more you look at this closer, the more you become aware actually the subtle ways in which it plays. Take care as usual, and I'll see you next time, or you'll see me next time. Bye.